single girls, I need you to listen up. I just found man heaven. Forget about bars and clubs. Your future husband is at the golf course. I already signed up to be coming here weekly. Happy husband hunting. Ladies, we got.
First off, they're not there to meet anyone. They're there to play. Sitting on your phone won't attract anyone. And remember, desperation reeks. Stay calm, stay confident, because the next girl will say the same thing when it's your turn golfing.
Alright, so everybody keeps telling me there's all these wonderful men out there that'll take you on dates and buy you flowers and do sweet things for you. And everywhere I look, there's all these men on TikTok that are talking about how they would love that kind of opportunity with a woman and all of these things. And I don't seem to understand why I can't find them. Can someone point me in the right direction, please? Thank you.
It's not that men don't try. They've just been used, rejected, and broken by unrealistic standards. After being taken advantage of a few times, most simply give up completely. It never ends. The so-called nice girls always chase the guys they can't have. The chads who leave behind nothing but emotional baggage, pain, and lasting trauma.
Why men these days don't want to get married. I'm going to go over this topic because I've seen it a lot. And ladies, before you come for me, realize that I'm going to do another video as well talking about why women want to get divorced because of the man. So follow me for that video. But in this video, I'm speaking about from a man's perspective why most men these days are not looking to get married as much as before. So the first problem that we have, which is a new age problem, is social media. Your girl, some girls, or most girls, are posting their body on social media, which is fine, confidence, great. But the issue is there's a lot of girls that cross the line between posting too much for a man's liking. Because it's like no one wants their wife all over social media for everybody to see. I don't care what anybody has to say. A man does not want his wife's body and all these things on the internet for everybody to see. They just don't want it. The second problem is that most girls are just given all this attention and validation through social media because they're beautiful and young and all these things, and then it doesn't cause them to want to improve all the time because they're constantly being told that they're amazing, they're a queen, they're a princess, they're beautiful, all these things. The harsh reality is someone has to be told things they don't want to hear to enable to improve. So a lot of girls now are just thinking that they're already queens to begin with and they don't need to improve, and that's just not attractive in the wife, And the third problem, which I think is the biggest problem, which I'm noticing, which is so sad that the guys on this app are posting why they're frustrated, is that women are taking a lot but they're not giving as much. They're caring for the guys in the beginning of the relationship and then it fades away, and then all they're worried about is taking care of the kids and they don't take care of their husband. In my opinion, your wife should crack you open a beer and give it to you when you're like stressed from a long day, or give you a massage, because we have to take care of them as much as they have to take care of us too. And I find that just fades away, and it goes both ways. I'm not saying one person has to treat the other one amazing, but both of you should be making each other feel better all the time. Then marriage is worth it. Of course marriage is not worth it if you're coming home busting your ass and your wife does nothing for you and doesn't make you feel good. That's why guys don't want to get married, because we're putting in all this effort and we're still being men. We're still held accountable to be providers and protectors and everything. But the women are not held accountable to being nurturers, and having a good feminine energy and taking care of the home space and bringing peace, not arguments, not aggression, peace in the house and relaxation and massages. That's what men want. Girls are not providing it, so that's why men are not wanting to get married. But you can't find a good girl. They are out there.
Men are exhausted from giving everything and getting almost nothing in return. They're expected to protect, provide, and lead, yet rarely find appreciation or peace. Social media's validation culture has killed genuine connection. Men now crave softness, loyalty, and peace over competition and chaos. Until that balance returns, many prefer solitude over draining relationships.
The reality is most guys nowadays have kind of given up on the idea of marriage because we realize that it's really just one big trap. There's nothing in it for us. We take all the risk and all the benefit is on the female side.
I would say, why change something that is good? You're in a relationship. Why are you going to get married? It's going to get worse. There's going to be more financial tension. Weddings are expensive as it is. Divorce rates are alarmingly high. And once you're married, you are at the mercy of that woman's expectations. Forget about that. Hell no.
Yeah, plus it's going to get to a point where you're both going to get bored of each other. She has the freedom to leave, but you don't.
No, I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to be stuck and see my future with her and my future personally go down the drain. Pretty much, because she can screw you over at a snap of a finger.
Exactly.
Thank you all for sharing your stories, your perspectives, your thoughts on this. I've learned a lot in the past 7 hours. And in fact, I have done nothing but read comments for the last 3, and I actually can't keep up with them anymore. So I wanted to just give a read back on what it is I'm hearing so that you know you're heard. I think this is how green screens work. I'm new to TikTok. I don't know. This is my masterful diagram. And you can go ahead and make fun of me for it because I know you're going to anyway. Nothing particularly surprised me in the responses except for dismissal. This one was really eye-opening, and we'll go from left to right, so bookmark that for a moment. Overall, thank you for providing a very clear answer to my question, and it also left me with another question, a bigger question, which I'll save until the end. But the overarching consensus is that it's not worth it. It's not worth it. There is a low return on investment. The risk to reward profile is not worth it, especially because 50% of marriages end in divorce. And that is particularly unfavorable to men because 50% of assets, the court system skews more toward women, especially when it comes to things like child custody. Hand in hand with divorce was betrayal and heartbreak. And there were a lot of stories of people who had been cheated on, stories of men who their person, their wife, their girlfriend just got up and left. And so this was kind of within the context of a relationship, but then there was also this, which is just the general dynamic between men and women. So men feeling as though women hate men, men feeling rejected by women, and then men feeling dismissed, but specifically like around them trying to voice their opinions or their feelings and women just dismissing it. And what I found really interesting about that is that that's exactly what was happening in some of the comments. I will say very few women actually commented, even though they were watching and liking the video, and I think that's because we're listening. But there were absolutely some strays in the comments invalidating men's experiences and feelings. Within the last hour, more and more people were bringing up things relating to traditional values. And so I think what happened is TikTok started to push this more toward conservative Christian. And so people were talking more about the shift, we'll say, in Western values. I also find it super funny that the first video that kind of did some numbers the other day, it got pushed mostly to women and liberal. And today this got pushed entirely toward men for obvious reasons, but also conservative, like two totally different swaths of people. And I love that. I love that because I think we all need to get along better. And on that note, the undercurrent in all of this is fear. There's other things mixed up in there too, right? But it's interesting to me that fear underpins a lot of this, and it's the same thing for women, which tells me that, hey, we're not so different at the end of the day. And while this has answered my question regarding how men feel about marriage, it's given rise to a whole new question, which is, how do we heal the rift? Because I get that marriage is not essential and we can all find happiness and fulfillment and peace in our own company, and that's a wonderful thing. And at the same time, I feel like we're not actually happy with the state of things, especially judging by like the anger and the grief in the comments. So I don't know. I don't have any solutions at the moment. I'm still kind of in listening and digesting mode, but...
Men are finished explaining. Their silence says it all. Marriage no longer feels like love, it's a liability. They give everything only to end up used, blamed, or betrayed. Society ridicules their pain, courts exploit their loyalty, and women label it growth. It's not fear driving them away. It's awareness. Men finally know their worth and choose peace.
The society we're creating right now, more and more men don't want to get married. And I get why. There is almost zero upside for men getting married. This isn't me saying that men shouldn't get married, or women, but think about what society is telling men about what being a man is. Tell about society is fucking men hardcore for getting married. If you get married and you get divorced, a woman takes 50% of whatever you have. 80% of relationships, the man is the biggest provider. So that's a big fuck right off the bat. What are you getting in exchange for that? Second, if you have kids with her, you're fucked, because the government doesn't think that you deserve shit. So even good dads who try to stay in the kid's life are fucked. So there's a lot of men going, why the fuck would I do this? The good news is that will correct itself, because eventually then people start going, oh, right? When you create mistakes, you only create more error. Error creates more error. So we've gone so far the other direction that more and more men are going, like, why the fuck would I get married?
We just don't have a lot of faith in it. We don't. A lot of times when we get married, it's because our woman wants to get married. Let's just put it on the table. Most men don't wake up aspiring to be in a marriage. That's just not how that goes. Is we dating a woman, we love this woman, we can't picture life without this woman. She values marriage highly. We cool with it. Okay, let's go on and get married. A lot of times when we talk to people who've been married that long, a lot of times they bitter within their own goddamn marriage. Let's just put it on the table. You got guys saying, hey man, you can stay single as long as you can, man. When you're getting this, oh, that's gonna die down. All that little fun stuff y'all do, that's over with. That's the narrative that a lot of men is getting, right? It's not the, hey man, this is how you navigate through that. Y'all can still be happy, but you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta communicate, you gotta be on the same page, you gotta leave your ego at the door. Mm-hmm. That's not the tutelage that a lot of us is getting, so a lot of us gotta find that out the hard way.
Men rarely dream of marriage. They enter it because it's what she expects. Soon they realize love isn't enough. Freedom fades, peace disappears, and duty replaces desire. The spark dies under pressure and expectation. Older men warn the young. Protect your sanity. Stay single. Modern marriage feels more like surrender than unity.
So I would love to get married again, but now it seems like men don't want to get married anymore. Like, why is this?
I'm not even going to fiddle fuck around with this. I'm just going to give you the straight answer I hope you're looking for. And that answer is that there are two main reasons why men don't want to get married anymore. Now, both these reasons are based upon the man being successful, which is the kind of guy you ladies want to marry anyway. And those reasons are, one, it's statistically idiotic to do it. And two, a successful man gains absolutely nothing except risk by getting married. So let's quickly dive into each of them. So for one, it's statistically stupid for a successful man to get married, because right off the bat, 60% of marriages end in divorce, with more than 85% of those divorces being initiated by the wife. And let's be real, not everybody who's unhappy actually gets divorced. So we could probably throw another 10% on top of that of people who just unhappy but stay together anyway. So that brings it to about 70% of marriages either end in divorce or stay married while they're unhappy. That's 7 out of every 10 marriages. Not to mention, on top of that, in cases where somebody's getting alimony, 97% of the time, it's the wife who's getting paid. Men receive alimony in only 3% of divorces. So statistically, it's fucking stupid. Like, would you do something that 7 out of every 10 times it's gonna end badly? Like, is there any activity where 7 out of 10 times there's a bad ending that I could convince you to do? Like, you gonna skydive with those odds? You gonna get on a train or a plane with those odds? I doubt that very much. And now to the second reason, being that a successful man gains absolutely nothing except risk by getting married. Now, women will argue with me on this and be like, well, he gets love, he gets caring, he gets me. Ladies, he already had that before he married you, or he never would have proposed. Like, are you telling me that before he married you, you didn't love him, you didn't care for him, you didn't cook, or you didn't clean, or you didn't show him affection? Are you telling me that you're waiting till marriage to sleep with him? I'm sure some of you are, but that's a tiny percentage. Yeah, so everything that he would get as a result of marrying you, he's already getting. So what does he get when he marries you? He gets risk. He takes the great relationship he had. He takes all the wonderful things, all the time you enjoy together. He gets to keep that, but now he's betting half his shit that it's going to work out. I'm going to say this right now. Marriages that stay together are not nearly as impressive as long-term relationships that stay together without marriage. Because even though a man may be unhappy in a marriage, it would be financially stupid a lot of the time for him even to get a divorce. Like, just the cost would be so unbelievably high. But People that are unhappy in a long-term relationship where they're not married, yeah, they can just break up. So when you stay together in a marriage, it's not always about love. When you stay together in a long-term relationship, that's because you care about each other. And let me just say that all this is coming from someone who would be perfectly fine getting married. But if you're going to ask why most men aren't interested in it anymore, it's because it doesn't make any fucking sense for a successful guy to get married. You just take all the wonderful things about a relationship and you fucking add risk.
Divorce today feels like legalized theft. Men lose homes, kids, and peace. If 60% of parachutes failed, would you still jump? Exactly. Marriage isn't worth that gamble.
As a single woman, I'm getting a little worried when I scroll on this app that like all of the good single men, 30-year-olds and up, or near that range, they are, if they're single, they're staying inside and doing exactly what I would want to do, which is like binge a show and like order and take out. Like, why when I'm scrolling, I'm seeing all these like cute men who look like they have their head on their shoulders. They probably don't. Let's just be fucking real. But they're all like staying inside. Like, what I'm trying to do is text a girlfriend and be like, hey, you know what? Instead of me cuddling into bed and binging all of Real Housewives, let's go out. Because I'm just hoping that one day, like, I meet my husband, like, meet cute randomly. Like, I got to go out and do that, right? I have to, like, actually put myself out there. I have to actually do my makeup and, like, put on a cute outfit and do that, you know? Crazy concept. But I have a fear that all of the good single 30-year-old men are doing the opposite. Hey, get out there. Please. Stop ordering takeout by your fucking self and wait for me to be there with you to do it, okay? Fuck, literally, I don't... Probably gonna run into a douchebag. Pray for me.
We gave it our all in our 20s. Tried, cared, invested. Now, peace means solitude. No drama, no games, no stress. Dying alone sounds better than living unhappy.
Why aren't men getting married anymore? It's not because they hate love or they're against love. It's because the system is actually stacked against them. In 1960, 72% of adults were married, and today it's barely 50%. And among men under 30, it's pretty much nowhere. Here's why. Divorce courts, they'll take all of the man's money, they'll take the kids, they'll take the house. 90% of child custody goes to women, and men pay millions in child support and alimony every year. Then there's the happy wife, happy life culture where men sacrifice everything to keep the peace. Meanwhile, if a man wants traditional roles, it's labeled as toxic. So men naturally ask themselves, what is the upside? And for a lot of guys, there isn't one. It's not that men in general hate commitment. They hate commitment to a system that is designed to punish them for existing. Till marriage becomes a partnership and not a legal liability, men will continue to keep saying, no thanks. Do you think men are right to walk away from the thought of marriage, or...
Marriage today feels like walking into a casino rigged against you. No matter how much you give, you lose in the end. Love, effort, money, all gone, and you're left drained. It's not romance anymore. It's a gamble where the house always wins, and men always lose. Thanks for watching Manhood. If you want access to exclusive episodes and want to support the channel, hit that join button and become a member. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if it hit home. Drop your stories and thoughts in the comments. We read everyone. See you tomorrow.